energized because I think he's got a good base for his test today. So
Good.
I think we're ready to roll. Okay, so here's the thing, some final thoughts, right? So I just went back and Joe, I know you can see this, and I didn't put it coming up one at a time, but here is just a kind of a encapsulation, if you will, of what I try and get across in 100K, right? Is that first thing is the biggest differentiator in those who do and those who don't is that those who do and those who don't right? And it's such, I see it in life all the time, right? Is those who actually implement are the ones who are going to win, right? Now, Joe, I know you're implementing right now, so just hang on because it's coming. Trust me. The law of the harvest says it can't not come, right? When you keep planting and doing all the right, and you're following the recipe, it'll come. And a lot of times it'll come in a big way, like, oh my goodness, I went from I didn't know what to do with my days to now I don't know what to do because I don't have enough time in a day, right, to get all this done because everybody just tends to hit it once. So just be aware of that and just continue. And I know John's had a great year. So kudos to you, John, and great job on the implementation.
Thank you.
Of getting things done. Follow up or an ancillary to that is success requires action, right? We can't just will our way into success. It actually is going to take work. There is no free lunch. That's one. And this again, reiterating, again, trying to get across to a larger group sometimes. Eyeball to eyeball is the most cost-effective way to win in this business, right? I think it's one of the most effective ways to win in this business, and I certainly can make that statement even bolder when I say it's the most cost-effective way to win in this business. Because I saw the thread a little bit yesterday. I didn't get to open the link, but I saw where Patty posted something about Zillow, the ex-Zillow CEO.
It was a bunch of nothing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's usually just kind of telling us what we already know, right? Hey, if you pay for leads, but there are some people, but here's the thing I know, right? And I think you even referenced it, Joe, that there are people that have done it and become successful with it.
Yeah.
Right? It's because, what they do is they have a system in place and they actually implement and they do it. And sometimes I found some of the people that I know, even within our own company, that buy leads from, let's say, Zillow, when they do that, it forces them to go to work.
Yeah.
Because if you're got skin in the game, right, and you've got a spend going out, right, you're going to say, hey, look, if you're anything like me and have to make sure that you've got an accountability partner at home that's going to say, hey, look, we got to justify the expense with income, right? Then that's what should be happening. And sometimes if that's what if the $1,000 a month they're paying Zillow is their accountability partner, right? That forces them to go to work. And God bless them, right?
Like I said, no judgment, but at the last BABA meeting that Kevin had, he had two guys speaking at the end, and one guy's got a big team, very successful and all that. He spends like $25,000 a month or whatever, some crazy.
Oh my God!
And how are we going to compete with something like that? Because you're talking about the law of the harvest. Also, it's the law of who he who has the goal makes the rules, right? And so Zillow's going to funnel stuff. So I'm not even going to try to compete with that. And it's just crazy.
Well, and it truly is. And you say, okay, with my $25 a month spend, what are the quality of leads I'm getting compared to the guy who spends $25,000, right?
Can I talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, please do, John.
So that was something that what you talked about, Bob, was something I wanted to touch on yesterday when we were talking about investing in our business. And, you were saying, take that off your gross and then take your personal 10% after that. But what I wanted to get across, and I think it's as valid in this discussion, is one thing that really transformed my business was when I got off my wallet and got off my fear that I would be wasting money, and I started investing money in my business. And I think there's a ton of places that you can make pretty good investments in your business, and Zillow might be one of them if you're the type of person that's wired to be successful with Zillow leads. I'm personally not. And I don't ever intend to spend $25,000, a month on that kind of marketing. If I had $25,000 a month to invest, I would invest it back into my database. And that's what I've learned. I'm doing an event to give away bread before Thanksgiving to my database. But to answer Joe's question, I don't care if you have $25 a month or $25,000 a month. In my opinion, for me personally, if you can figure out a way to invest that back into your database with the whole Michael Mayer thing, with personal notes and events, and all those kinds of things, so that you're actually reaching out to people and you're investing back in them. I just think that the return on that will be so much greater, and it's such a much more efficient use of your money than spending it, for instance, on Zillow, for example. That's just my take on that whole thing.
100%. John, let me ask you this, because I know you were doing what's the group you were with that you send out the emails, you do the Monday,
Joe Stump.
Joe Stump.
So, of course, he's very touchy-feely, which I'm not. I'm more of a matter-of-fact type person. So he's kind of making up for my lack there. He sends out a lot of very soupy and, touchy-feely emails with very emotional messages. It's just stuff I wouldn't write. He's sending that out to my database in the forms of a monthly email. He sends out a postcard for me, which is a referral reminder postcard, which is very, very good and effective. I like that a lot. And then I send out his newsletter once a month. So anybody who's in my Joe Stump program, you're getting my newsletter, aren't you, Bob?
That's right. Yeah.
And are you getting my postcards too?
I don't get the postcards. I don't
okay,
think.
but you're getting the newsletter. I'll start sending you the postcards too. I can add you to that now that I thought of it. But that has been incredibly valuable. I think it cost me $5,000 a year to pay for his coaching, to pay for all the postage, and to pay for all the printing and everything. And I said that in the jam group, and a couple of people, you could just hear the breath come out of their lungs. They're like, $5,000. I said $5,000 a month, $5,000 a year. If I said that wrong, so I spent $5,000 a year on that. It has paid for itself 15 times over already. I'm making that number up, but I know I've gotten at least $12,000 worth of income off of that $5,000 investment, at least.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I have people calling me. For instance, here's a guy that I sold a home to before I came to work for Future Home. I signed up with Joe. He's a fishing charter guy. He has a fishing charter business. And he just called me the other day and said, hey, I got someone coming in, a snowbird coming in. We're going to do a charter. And he's looking for a place. And, you're the first person I thought of, and I'm going to give him your contact information. I guarantee you, I sold this guy a house like 2.5 years ago. He never would have thought of that if he wasn't getting my postcard and my newsletter. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a newsletter too through IDX, the IDX contact that we have, right? And it's not bad stuff, and I can customize it, and I do other things. If someone connects with Facebook, I've got stuff like this. I'm doing that kind of stuff. I'm going to go down the new path now. I'm going to start doing the handwritten notes.
God, that is the game changer.
I'm starting to do that. I'm going to do 10 a week. That's going to be my thing. 10 a week. I've got branded cards with a Z on the front, big Z.
Yeah, nice.
And so, they're from Amazon. They're dirt cheap too. And so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to pick 10. I've got a couple points I'm going to make, and I'm still going to do the Facebook posts and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Because I'm still a tech geek, but that's going to be my newest thing right now. And I'll tell you what, it's getting harder and harder to get REOs. Everyone's out there right now, and I talk to
REO to open houses. You mean?
Yeah, it's getting tougher and tougher.
Everybody's gobbling them up as far as wanting to do them.
Also, I get this. Well, we only give it to people in our office. So let me get this straight. You're going to have 5 houses sit there while you do one and no one else does the other 4.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. but it's whatever. Good
choice they make. Yeah, exactly. It's the broker probably trying to make some rule that says, hey, look, my non-implementing agents need to do this, but they're non-implementing, so they're never going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Right. Hey, Joe. Your newsletter, are you doing that by U.S. Post, or are you doing it electronically?
Electronically right now.
Yeah, definitely. The differentiator is getting the hard paper in their hands. Because I tried electronic for years when I was in the mortgage business, and nobody reads it. But when it comes, I literally went to a listing presentation. I'm going to say this was probably about 5 weeks ago. I walked in, and 2 of my newsletters were sitting on the table.
Oh, nice.
And it was
Wow,
literally,
that's
okay,
interesting.
where do we sign?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because because when I did work with, in my prior life with some direct mail companies, they would say that the yield is under 1%. And I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of expense for under 1% yield.
It's under 1%. Here's the thing about direct mail, and this is critical. It depends on the list that you're mailing to. And the list that you're mailing to is highly specialized and highly, highly focused. You're not just sending it out to everybody. You're sending it to people that know you, like you, respect you, have a relationship with you. And I can just tell you that that's a big differentiator.
I have that option. I have that option with this thing. I have not done that yet.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, can I ask you a question? Do you feel like, and I know it's just coming from a database and I signed you up for it and all that, but don't you feel like that when you get that newsletter once a month from me, like, hey, this guy's consistent. This might be a so-so newsletter, but he's consistent. He's out there. I see this. Do you think that's a differentiator? Because that's what I've heard from other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a differentiator, and John hit the nail on the head with the rate of return on his database list should be way higher, because let's just go back to Michael Mayer's pyramid of influence, right? Because now we're not talking to the masses, right? Talking to the masses means 1%. They'd be thrilled with that kind of return, right?
Yeah.
If I'm talking to people that know me, have done business with me, or friends of people, people I go to church with, whatever, then they should. Hey, could you guys take over for about 2 or 3 minutes? I need to go test this new key card system here in Winter Park, and so I'm going to let you guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm having to multitask here a little bit.
Yeah. So we found out that we're neighbors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very good. You guys would probably, John, I don't know, do you have an accountability partner already?
No, not really. I mean, I did. The person will remain nameless, but we we did not hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
So I'm responsible for that. So the next accountability partner I get, I'm going to I think write probably 6 at least $100 checks.
Yeah.
And I won't do accountability partner with someone who's not willing to do the same. So
Right.
That's gonna, the next person I would say, look, this is how we're gonna do it. You got to write me 6 checks right now for $100, and you got to tell me the next 6 things you're gonna do, and when they're gonna be done by. And if they don't get done, I don't care. I'm keeping your money.
That's right. Cash in the check, and you have the right to do the same to me.
Yep, exactly right.
Yeah,
and
those I've found to be the best accountability situations. Trust me.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to see. So cool. Well, good. And that and so Joe, if you ever get to that stage and you're ready to go, I think you guys would probably geographically work and it's funny. I just enjoy being around implementers and people who are willing to work and intelligent, people. So it's an anomaly now to be able to interact with people like that. It's the old Socratic, let's all meet at the town square and hash out life's philosophical problems.
And I like I said, the humility piece is good, and also flexibility, right? I mean, so I'm doing a lot of the Michael Myers stuff, but the Sunday night thing doesn't work for me. It just doesn't for me. But the night before, what's going next day, that works great for me. And
perfect. You got to take what does and
that's right.
And make it and apply it to what you've got going on. So, I've got to, and I'll have to roll here in about 10 minutes, unfortunately, because we're still trying to resolve this problem. So, let me finish real quickly on this. Obviously, stop chasing and start attracting. We know what that means, right? Mm-hmm. Is that we're not going to, and to your point, John, nothing wrong with a spend if it's a investment, meaning it returns more than you spend, right? Where we run into problems is that if we're spending for spending's sake and we can't justify the return, and I'm not saying it has to happen overnight, because it usually doesn't, right? It takes some time to get there. But if you've tried it and it's still not working, then it might be time to, make a shift or take a look at doing something different or whatever that might, look like. So stop chasing, start attracting, right? So much of this business is taught in a chase people mentality, right? Which is never fit my personality. right? I just would much rather just engage with people, right, and allow them to seek my knowledge rather than me try and hunt them down and chase them all over the place. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get across there. Attractiveness, what does that mean? It means working on me, and which both of you, ironically, the two of you here, are the ones that joined the book club, and we went through the Covey, how I work on myself and all that kind of. It's there. There is no coincidence, and it becomes very clear to me how narrow a group we can become when we start to put some tasks in front of people.
Right. Hey, Bob, one thing, I know I told you this before, but I wanted to give you a progress update. You really inspired me with you got to do some charitable works. And so I've completed my training with empath, hospice. I had to go through a whole thing.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
I'm an employee who is paid zero. What do they call it?
Yeah.
A non-compensated employee. But I had to go through the entire empath medical company training and all that. So I'm about to get my my volunteer schedule. And what I've signed up for actually is what's called respite care, which is basically care of caregivers. So if you're taking care of your mom, 24/7, I'm the guy who comes in and says, hey, you want to go get your hair cut? You want to go do some shopping? You want to go out on a date? You want to go to a movie, whatever? I'll stay home with mom. I'll keep an eye on her. I'm here to try and give you, 3 hours of relief. And I'm super happy about it. It really affected my attitude. It's critical that real estate never comes up in this, and that's okay. I'm not doing it for real estate. Right. But I know in the grand scheme of things that it will pay back, that it is an investment and it will pay back. But, at no point, if someone said to me, hey, what do you do? I'm a real estate agent. Oh, well, when I die, I'm going to need to sell this house. I want you to sell it. I would have to say, I can't. I can refer you to someone I know named Joe, but I can't do it. It's a conflict of interest.
Right. And I'm sure they've run across that, right? Hey, what's the easiest way into a probate situation is to, all things aside, kudos to you, right? For taking that huge step. And that is that something that's always kind of been near and dear, or did you happen upon it, or how did you connect with them?
Well, when my parents died, which was my father died 5 years ago, and it feels like it was about 2 days ago. I was destroyed. And so I went to them for counseling, adults with loss of a parent class.
Yeah, like grief counseling, basically, right?
It was grief counseling. So I was in that group with a bunch of people my age or older, and they really saved my life. So I feel indebted to them. And also, when my father and my mother were passing, both of them, it was a lot of work, particularly for my brother, because he's with them and I'm away. And I really, when I went home to visit, I really empathized with what he was going through. And there is no relief. He gets no time off. He's on call 24/7, 365 when you've got parents that you're taking care of. Even if, in my parents' case, they had good care. It's just the mental strain of never knowing when you're going to get that call. I need to, there's an emergency, we need to come do something. So I was hoping I would be able to provide some relief to some caregivers, at least for a couple hours, to try and take a strain off. And I never would have done it if you didn't, but it was because of you. So I want to thank you for that you inspired me to do it.
Yeah, you're the one who did it. I just try and encourage and move people because I know that that's where it's headed, right? That sense of empowerment, that sense of, you talk about getting endorphins going when you're working out. You get endorphins going when you're helping others as well, right? It's and Joe, obviously, being in the pastorate and the priesthood, would certainly understand and has that heart as well, obviously. And so that's incredible. Well, good for you. Very, I'm proud of you. I really am, because that's a huge step, and way to make it so personal. Right? Where, hey, look, here's somebody that they gave to me. Now I want to give back to them.
Exactly.
And I know that. And you've got a lot to give because of your experience.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, that's a 100K thing that I enjoy. So thank you for that.
Well, good deal. Awesome. That's perfect. And I do, unfortunately, I need to step out and see if I can get this key card resolved. So I probably, well, maybe I'll see, I don't know, you or both of you on Tuesday at the final book club before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, when is that? So,
It's
I mean,
Tuesday at 10 a.m.
okay.
And we're going to do the wrap up. We did chapters 1 through 8 of Richest Man in Babylon, and now we're doing the last whatever chapters they are.
I was not part of it, but I'll probably listen in.
Yeah, no problem. Feel free to jump in. It's been good. It's a good group and some very good dialogue. So if I do see you then, obviously we can say Happy Thanksgiving then. If I don't see you for any reason, have a great Thanksgiving. And I know, John, you said you're coming to the Christmas party, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. John, how about Joe? How about you? Are you gonna
Yeah, we're there. My wife's coming too. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Look forward to seeing you guys there as well. So, Ben, we'll talk before. Have a great Thanksgiving and have a great weekend this weekend.
Same here. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.